Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, Madhav, Naveen. Thank you very much. Okay, let's stop the chat. Today we are moving on to the next service. Today we are moving on to the next service called as Identity and Access Management. We will be learning a new service called as Identity and Access Management. So in this session, we'll understand what is the importance of this service. Okay, and then in AWS we have two types of root users, root user and IAM user. We'll be experiencing the difference between the root user and IAM user. We'll also learn how can we create users, how can we attach policies to the users. What do you mean by the term called? What do you mean by the term called policy? We'll learn how to create a user. We'll learn how to create a group, how to attach policies to the users, how to attach policies to the groups, how to add users to the group. So we should be comfortable with these terminologies called users, groups, policies, which are very, very important. Identity and access management is also very, very important service, which helps you to understand how exactly the cloud infrastructure can be used by multiple users of a particular account. Okay, so let's make all these concepts more simplified. I have created a PPT. There's one more PPT. Please have a look at it. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. Yes, you're right. Please have a look at this. Try to understand this theory, and then we'll make this theory more simplified when we look at the practicals. Please look at the theory. Look at this. Identity and access management allows you to manage users. Okay, so using this service, what you can do, you can manage users, you can manage groups and their level of access. We can provide different levels of access to AWS account or to the AWS services. Okay, so it's all about creating users and providing the level of access to the users. Next, advantages of identity and access management: centralized control of your AWS account, shared access to your AWS account. What do you mean by shared access? We'll see it soon. Granular permissions, identity federation. Users can log in using LinkedIn, Facebook accounts. Multi-factor authentication for higher security. Just users are logging in with their email address and login password. But if you want to have one more layer of security, you can assign an OTP so that the users will get an OTP to the mobile number. Set the password rotation policy, and we can request the users to change the password for every 30 days or whatever it is. So these are all what you can do in identity and access management. Most important is shared access. You can provide shared access to AWS account. You may have a question, Sunil, what do you mean by shared access? We'll be seeing it soon practically. In this identity and access management, we should be familiar with four terminologies. We should be familiar with the four terminologies: users, groups, policies, and roles. Okay, users, groups, collection of users are nothing but groups, policies are nothing but permissions, roles are nothing but used for communication between the services. So all this we'll be seeing it soon. Okay. Okay. So let's log into, let's try to understand the identity and access management and its importance practically. Okay. What does that mean? Let's try to understand now. This concept of identity and access management is related to administration. This concept of identity and access management is related to administration. AWS Identity and Access Management is a service that helps you to securely control your AWS resources. Using IAM, you can control who is authorized to use the resources. What does that mean? You may have questions, Sunil. What do you mean by who is authorized to use the resources? We'll see it soon. First, try to understand the terminologies. Try to understand the concept behind identity and access management. When you create a AWS account, we all have created an AWS account, isn't it? We all have created AWS account. Once you are done with creating an AWS account, daily we are logging into AWS, isn't it? So what is the URL? aws.amazon.com. Have you observed daily we are logging in with their email address and password? But very important points you need to keep in mind. You can see you can sign in as two types of users, root user and IAM user. Have you observed this? I hope many of you have observed this. Whenever you're logging in by default, whenever you're logging in, try to understand, friends. Whenever we are logging in by default, we are logging in as a root user. Every day, right from day one, we are logging in as a root user. We have not disturbed the settings. The default user is a root user. Root user will have full access to AWS account. Root user will have full access to AWS account. What does that mean? Let's say login. Let's log in as usual. I have logged in. I have logged into AWS account as a which user? As a root user. The concept of root user is that root user have full access to AWS account. Full access to AWS services. AWS is providing close to 300 services. Am I right? These are all the services for AWS account. You can access any service. You can select any service and start working with it. There is no limitation. There is no restriction. You can select any service and you can start getting into practicals of any service. You can work with that services. There is no restriction. Root user is nothing but a high level user. He will have full access to AWS account. He can select any service and start working with any of the services. That's about the root user. Whenever you create a new AWS account, that means we are creating a root account. Everyone, whenever we are creating a new AWS account, we are creating a new, whenever you have created new AWS account, right? That's a root user. Okay. So the root user is having full access to AWS account. Fine. Now, you may have a question. So what is IAM user? I'll explain about the concept of IAM user. Look at this. Ravi Kota. Can you hear me? You are allowed to unmute. Yeah, I have seen your hand raised, Ravi. Any question? Chaitanya Kumar.
Yeah, hi Sunil,
Good
very good
morning.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question is yesterday's topic of S3 topic. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so while uploading the data into S3, we can do encryption. And what
Yes.
about while downloading?
It all gets automatically decrypted and gets downloaded.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay. And
So when
also
you're
one more
saving
question.
in when it is saving in the disk, it will be saved in the form of a
Decrypted.
encrypted way, and it will be saved so that it will be secure.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, okay. And what about difference between retention and versioning? In AWS backup service, retention period will be there,
Yeah.
some like 30 days like that. Is this same to belongs to S3 versioning also?
No, that is different, and this is different. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay. That's a different concept. Okay.
If you
Chait.
are enabling the transfer acceleration that service, it
Mm.
will be chargeable, right? Again.
It is chargeable.
Oh,
All the
okay.
features are chargeable.
Okay. S3
Transfer
and under
acceleration,
the S3 services also.
whatever the additional features like encryption is chargeable, transfer acceleration is chargeable, static website hosting is chargeable. Okay, so all
Okay.
these are chargeable. Okay, Chaitanya.
Okay.
So I want to have a quick discussion with you. Is that fine?
Yeah, yeah, fine.
This is we have logged in as a root user, isn't it, Chaitanya? Hmm?
Yeah, correct.
So root user, you will have full access to
All the
all the
services.
A to Z, whatever the services or AWS provides. Root user can connect to that particular service and start working with the services. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so let's say Netflix is a client, Chaitanya. One of the biggest clients of AWS is Netflix. Okay. Netflix infrastructure is completely running on AWS cloud. Okay. Let's say Netflix has recruited AWS professionals. Let's say they have recruited some three, or let's say they have recruited some set of professionals. Let's say he has recruited some 4 professionals, AWS engineers. Now, Chaitanya, do you think Netflix will provide all the new employees the root user details? Do you think once we get recruited as an AWS management in the AWS team, do we provide do you think the client will provide us the root user details? No, not at all.
Obviously. Yeah.
Not at all. We will not get access to root user, because when we get access to root user, you can do anything, right? You can select any service. You can start working with any of the service. You can misuse infrastructure, isn't it, Chaitanya? You
Yes.
can also go to billing and check how much the client is getting bill. Agree?
Right.
He can change the bill. He can pay the bill. He can do misuse because the root user can do everything, isn't it, Chaitanya?
Yeah.
So the point is, okay, the point is when we get a job and when we get enrolled into the AWS stream, once we get as an AWS engineer, do not think that we'll have a root account user details. Okay, we will be provided an IAM user. We have provided which user? Client will provide a IAM user details. We will never get a root user details. Whenever you work with AWS, friends, remember, it's once you get a job as an AWS team, you will never log into root user. You will always log in as a IAM user. You will never get a chance to log into root user. So using IAM user, you will be connecting to AWS account and working with the AWS services. Okay. Okay. Look at this. For example, Ravi has joined into AWS team. Let's say Ravi is a resource joined into AWS team. And some other resource, something like Kiran has joined into AWS team. Okay, the management now is, so Ravi, let's say Ravi is responsible for EC2 service. So when Ravi logs in to AWS account, he should have access to only EC2 service. Let's say Ravi has assigned a task related to EC2 service, so he should only work with EC2. When he tries to work with S3, he will not get the access. So Ravi, he has given a responsibility to manage the EC2 instances. Kiran has given a responsibility to manage the S3 buckets. So when Kiran logs in, he can only work with S3. He cannot work with any other services. How can you provide restricted access to a particular user? That is possible using identity and access management. Using IAM user, you can create a new IAM user and you don't view full access, provide the restricted access to that particular user. So when a user logs in, he will have only access to that particular service. He cannot access to any other services. Clear, Chaitanya? This kind
Correct.
of restricted access to the AWS account can be provided by using the service called as identity and access management. Got it?
Yeah.
Is this clear, Chaitanya? Is it meaningful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at this. Every company will have only one root account, friends. Even though AWS is having a very big, very big, one of the biggest client, but they have only one root account. The complete bill comes to that particular root account. The owner of the account will create a users. Owner of the account is nothing but the root account will create users, and they give limited permissions to that particular users. Look at the requirement. User A should have easy to full access. User A should have easy to full access. User B should have S3 full access. User C should have easy to read only access. These kind of users, creating users and provided restricted permissions to the particular users, restricted privileges to the particular users can be possible by using a service called as identity and access management. Clear? Clear about this? Any questions? Clear about this? Any questions about understanding the concept of identity and access management? Please raise your hand. Questions related to identity and access management, please raise your hand. Yes, Sagar.
Yeah, morning, Sunil.
Good morning, Sagar. Clear
Yeah,
about the need for the service and the importance of service of identity and access management.
yeah. And one thing to know, Sunil, actually, I have an account, existing account in
Okay.
the AWS, okay, with one of the client, and they have permitted me the as an IAM user.
IAM user,
Yeah,
yes.
but the thing is, while login, there is two-factor authentication we have, means Google Authenticator through
Mobile app,
yeah, mobile app. So
yes.
through that, I have to log in.
You have to log in. That's for higher security.
Yes. But that settings to be done in the
IAM
IAM.
only, yes.
Okay.
You have to enable that multi-factor authentication that can be possible using IAM service.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope you understood the importance of IAM. So it's all about restricted access to the AWS account. Okay, Sagar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Ramani.
H- Hi Sunil, how are
Yeah.
you?
Fine. Thank you, Ramani. Yes, your question.
Yeah, my question is who can create the user accounts in IAM? It's root
Root
user
user.
or okay,
Only root user can create a new IAM users. Okay.
okay, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aditya Thakur.
Hi Sunil.
Yeah. Good morning, Aditya.
Yeah, hope you're well.
Yeah, I am well. Thank you. How are you?
Sunil, yeah, I'm good. Sunil, for signing a new user even as well, so
Huh?
that user must be have an account, AWS account, right? First.
We'll see now. Okay.
Yeah.
How to create a user and how to assign policies to that particular user. Once it's clear, it will be clear. Okay, Aditya.
Okay.
Let's move on. Look at this, Aditya. Can we have a talk? Okay. Okay. Look at. Let's follow this diagram. We have to create two users, Ravi and
Kiran.
Kiran. Ravi should have access to only one service, EC2. That's it. Hmm? Kiran should have access to only one service, S3, isn't it, Ravi? Aditya,
Yeah.
this is our plan. Agree?
Yeah.
So first step, what we need to log into root user. I think we already have logged into root users, and then you need to select a service called as
I am.
identity and access management. So under security, identity, and compliance, you will have IAM.
Mm,
Under security, identity, and compliance, we have a service called as
I am.
IAM. Okay, so there are some existing users which have used it for previous batches. Perfect. Okay. So, Thakur,
Mm.
this is how an IAM dashboard looks like. Okay. So here we have an option of users. We know we should comfortable about the concept of groups. We should comfortable about the concept of policies and roles. These are the 4 important points you need to keep in mind. So I'm dealing with first users. Okay. So how to create a new IAM user? What's the name of the user we are planning to create?
Ravi and
The
Kiran.
name of the user which I'm planning to create is Ravi. The password which I want to provide for this user is Ravi
Okay.
at the rate 123. Okay.
Yeah.
And the second user which I want to create, and what permission we need to give it for this user? Only
EC2.
EC2 access. This is about the first user. Now second user, I want to create a user with the name Kiran, and the password which I want to provide for the Kiran is Kiran123, and he should have what access? S3 access.
X3.
So let's learn how to create a user. It's pretty simple. We have an option of add users. Username Ravi. Okay. AWS access type. This is important. You're creating a new user, Ravi, isn't it? Okay. We are creating a new user. How do you want the new user to connect to AWS account? You can connect
Yeah.
to AWS account in 2 ways.
Okay.
This is a AWS cloud. Hmm?
Yeah.
You can connect to AWS cloud and work with the services in 2 ways. What are the 2 ways?
As a root or IAM user.
No, those are different types of users. But in 2 ways, you can connect your AWS account
Okay.
and work with the services. One is called as console access. Okay. The other one is command line access.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
In
right.
2 ways, I think someone has asked this question previously. In 2 ways, you can connect to AWS and you can work with the AWS services. In how many ways? 2 ways. One is console access, the other one is
Console.
command line interface. Console access is nothing but the graphical user interface. It's also called as GUI.
This dashboard only.
GUI. It's nothing but logging into a AWS account using the browser aws.amazon.com, and then you're entering your email address and login password. That's how you're connecting to AWS account. Right from day one,
Yeah.
we have connected to AWS account. You have learned the services using the browser. That's called as what
Browser.
access? The console access.
Console access. Yeah.
It's also called as graphical user interface. There's a different approach. You can also connect to AWS account. You can also work with the services of AWS using the command line access. That's using the command prompt. So when you're creating a new user, Ravi, now how Ravi should connect? Do you want Ravi to connect using the console access, or do you want Ravi to connect to the
Yeah.
command line? So I want to give both the options. I want him to access using programmatical access.
Okay.
Programmatical access is nothing but the command line interface. I also want to add provide him the console access. Both the ways he can able to connect to AWS account. Okay. Password, I don't want to generate the password. I want to give the password. The password is Ravi at the rate 123. This is the password, and password reset. No, I don't want password to reset. Next. What is the next option? Aditya, permissions.
Permission.
What permissions you are planning to give to this particular user? EC2 access. Does it
Yes.
agree?
Means which are the services which we want them to
Yes, we
access?
want to have access to only one service. Okay.
Okay.
So here we have attach policies. Attach existing policies. Policies are nothing but permissions. So don't select the first option.
Mhm.
Don't select the second option. That's about permission from copy permissions from the existing user. I want to add policies. What policy I want to access? Which policy you want to provide? Amazon EC2, we have a full access. This is the policy. Okay. These are predefined policies. Okay. Amazon EC2 full access is the policy which I am providing. What is the policy name? What is the policy name? The policy which I'm providing is Amazon EC2 full access is the policy. Next, tax
Sorry,
are optional. Just review the details.
Sunil,
Yes.
sorry. I think you are not picked on that. Do we need to mark, right? You need to mark here.
This one.
Yeah.
You're talking about the checkbox.
Yeah.
That's okay. If you don't do it
Okay.
also, you can review the details.
Oh, okay.
See, we are permissions, no permissions. You are right. You need to mark it.
Yeah, mark it.
I need to attach this particular policy. Next. Now you can see this is the user which I'm creating, and this user is having what access? EC2
EC2
full access, create
yeah.
user. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Successfully
Yeah,
created a
right,
user.
right.
Okay. User can also, user is having the corresponding access key ID in secret key ID. That's
Yeah,
fine.
okay, right.
Okay. So what is access key? We'll discuss later. So I have the
I think there
created
should
a
be.
user. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Close. I'm done with creating a user. So
User.
user has been successfully created. Next, I want to create one more user. Kiran, and the password is
Kiran.
Kiran123. So let's do that. He should access in both the approach. Next, what permission we need to attach?
Attach policies.
Amazon S3 full access is the policy which I want to attach to this particular user. Review the details.
Yeah.
Perfect. He's having both programmatical access and console access, both the accesses. Okay.
Created, yeah.
Now you can see our users, how many users we have created. 2 users, Ravi and Kiran.
Yeah.
Clear? So these are
Yes.
the Ravi and Kiran are the IAM users under the root user.
Okay.
So we are the root user. I am the root user, isn't it? So under the root
Right.
user, how many IAM users we have created? 2 IAM users. This is the root user. Root user is having canonical ID. It's also called as an account ID, isn't it? This is the account ID. Take a note of the account ID of the root user. This is the account ID of the root user. Now, how can Ravi logs in? Okay, let's log out. I'm logging out as a root user. I want to log in again. This time as a which user?
IAM user.
IAM user. This IAM user belongs to root user, right? Provide that root user account ID first.
Oh, yeah.
These 2 users are belonging to this particular account ID, isn't it? So provide the
Right.
account ID. Next. Then provide the IAM user and the password.
Means root user access ID is mandatory account ID.
Very important. That's all right. This Ravi should belongs to which root? There are hundreds of root users. You have to know it, isn't it? Right.
And this may also happen, na Sunil? Different root user has the same login user. And,
So it will be difficult. So it's always important to map the root user, isn't it?
right.
These are child users belonging to this particular root account, isn't it? So that's what is important. So I log in. This is the first time, Aditya, we are experiencing the identity and access management user. And you can see here Ravi, which belongs to this particular root user. When you're getting username at the rate something a 12-digit account ID, that means it's nothing but an IAM user. Got it?
Right. Yeah.
And this Ravi, when you go to list of services, these are the list of services available, but can he access EC2?
EC2 only he can access.
Yes, because he's having EC2 access.
Access.
We can connect to EC2, he can go to instances. Okay, so right now there are no instances. I go to Mumbai region.
He can see all the options, right?
All the options, because EC2 full access he's having. He can start the services, stop the services, he can terminate whatever he want, he can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, now can he access S3? That's the important point.
No. He can
When
only
he-
see
When
now.
he tries to access
Then what to do?
S3, you do not have
You don't
permissions. No,
uh,
you cannot do anything. Clear? So he's not having
right,
access to S3. He's having access. He cannot access to any other services. So now go back to a theory. Now go back to IAM allows you to manage users, groups, and their level of access to AWS services. Their level of access to AWS services. Look at this. Shared access. Did I provide shared access, Aditya?
No.
I am sharing the access now.
Yeah, root ID.
Identity access root. I am sharing
Yeah,
the access to
yeah,
my
yeah.
AWS account. One user will have one access, like one service. Second user will have couple
Mm.
of services. You can share your AWS account, so you can provide granular permissions. Are you understanding the importance of
Yeah,
that?
right.
Okay, so let's log out and let's explain the second user.
Kiran.
Provide the root account ID. Okay. Kiran logged in. Kiran is having what access? Kiran is having S3 access, so he can definitely connect to S3. He has no buckets, but he can create the buckets. That's okay. He can create the buckets and can follow the process. That's not a problem. Can he work with S3? EC2.
No.
When he tries to connect to EC2,
Permission denied.
errors. Everything is an error.
Yeah.
You are not authorized to perform this operation. Got it?
Right.
He's not able to do that. So that's about identity and access management. Thank you, Thakur. I
Yeah,
hope you have
understood.
understood the
Yeah,
importance of
completely.
identity and access management.
Yeah,
Very, very
yes.
important. Okay.
Yeah.
So once we get into a job, do you think we get root user details? Never.
No, never.
You can do anything. You can definitely misuse that. So we will never get a chance to work with root user. We always get a chance to work with IAM
I
user.
am users.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you, Ravi.
Yeah. Good morning, Sunil.
Good morning, Ravi. Clear about identity and access management?
Ah, just
Yes.
a second.
Your question, please.
Actually, I'm working with some client. For the client, I am logging with. They are giving some account. Maybe virtually we are joining. Maybe that is related to AWS. Like that, I am asking.
Virtually, in the sense, how are you logging in as an IAM user?
No, not like that.
Mm-hmm.
They give through some card we are accessing to the virtual machine.
That is
VM.
the high one more level of security that is handled by your client itself. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe that is the
Yes.
thing which is comes under any AWS service like that.
Yes. Okay. You have to
Okay.
wait for the VPC. Mm.
Okay, fine. Then.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, that is the.
Okay. Mallikarjun Reddy. How are you? Good morning, Mallikarjun. Clear about the identity and access management and the importance of creating users, provided restricted access to the users, which is very, very important, isn't it?
Actually, IAM user creation, everything will be taken care of different administration and right. We no need to do anything, right?
Please, your voice is little low, and please talk slowly.
Different IAM user creation, everything will be taken care by administration only, right? Because
Yes.
of they need to be created, and we
I
have
agree.
this for our information only, right?
It's a
Then
part of administrator. So when an employee joins into the AWS team, obviously it's administrator responsibility to provide IAM user. Okay.
and then one more bit, because it's an instance, right? Is there any difference between using Linux instance and Ubuntu instance?
Regarding the EC2 instances you're talking about,
Yes, yes.
both are different flavors. Okay, of Linux. Okay. So 90% the syntaxes will be the same. So 10% there will be fine minor differences, but any of the Linux machines are almost the same. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Malik. Sandeep Misra. I can see your hand raised, Sandeep. Yes, your question, please.
Hi, Sunil. Good morning.
Good morning, Sandeep. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
You're from which
So,
location?
I'm from Mumbai.
Okay.
Yeah. So my question is that is there any limitation? Like, suppose if they're root user, so is there any limitation to
There is
create
no
the?
limitation with respect to number of users. You can create 1,000 users also. That's not a problem. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
There's no restriction at all. Okay, Sandeep.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So we have discussed about the concept of IAM users. So let's discuss about the next terminology called groups. I want to log in back as a root user. So you can see I don't want to log in as an IAM user. Here I want to log in as a root user. Where is our identity and access management? Under security, identity and compliance. Here you will experience the concept of identity and access management. So this is how the identity and access management dashboard looks like. Here you get the complete information about how many users we have created, how many groups we have created. We have not created any groups. Let's experience the concept of groups. Okay. Now where exactly groups are used? Look at this. Generally, very big clients will have teams based on the services. There will be an EC2 team, there will be S3 team, there is VPC team. Like this, they are maintained different teams. Okay, so to manage those teams, what they do, they create groups. Look at this EC2 group. S3 group like this, they create groups, and then they provide policies to group. Just now, what we have experienced, we have added policies. We have created two users, right? Ravi and Kiran. We have added policies. Policies are nothing but permissions. Where did we add it? We have added permissions directly to the users. Agree? Isn't it? So users are having permissions. Look at the users dashboard. So user Ravi and Kiran, when you click on Ravi, you'll understand what policy Ravi is having. You can see permissions are nothing but the policies you have attached a EC2 full access to that particular Ravi user. So that means we have added policies to the user. Now what I'm doing, I'm not adding policies to the users. I'm adding policies to the group. For EC2 group, I'll provide EC2 full access policy, obviously. For S3 group, I'll add S3 full access. So first let's do that. First let's create group and let's add policies to the group. Go to groups. Groups are nothing but user groups. Right now there are no groups. I'm creating a group. What is the name of the group? The name of the group what I want to create is an EC2 group. Group name can be anything. Group name can be group 1, group 2, whatever it is. Okay. And then attach permissions. What permission I'm attaching? Amazon EC2 full access, isn't it? Amazon EC2 full access. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm creating a group. This is the name of the group. I'm not adding users to the group. This is optional. I'm not doing this. I'm attaching permissions. What permissions I'm attaching? Permissions and policies are both the same. I'm attaching easy to full access, and then I'm creating a group. Group successfully created. How many users are there? As of now, there are no users in this particular group. This group is having any permissions? Yes, this group is having permissions. What permission this group is having? Can you see under permissions tab? It is very obvious that the group is having easy to full access. Similarly, I'll create one more group. S3 group. What policy? Amazon S3 full access is the policy. I'm attaching that policy to the group and create group. Okay, groups are created. Okay, when a new employee recruits getting into the organization, let's say the management has decided to add that and the EC2 group. Let's say he wants his responsibilities to manage EC2 machines. So obviously, instead of attaching policies to users, what we'll do, we'll attach a user to the group. Okay, let's say a new user has joined, for example. Let's say John has joined the organization. The password is John @123. Is the username and password which I want to create, and I don't want policies attached to user. Instead, what I'll do, I'll add this user to the group. Look at this. Users, add users. Username John. John should have both the access. Password for John is @123. And then next, permissions. Add users to the group. We have two groups. You get both the options. I want to add this user to EC2 group. When you add user to the group, automatically he'll get the permissions from the group. Next, review the details. Can you see we have created a user John, and he's having what policies? He belongs to which group? He belongs to EC2 group. That's it. Yes, you got the user. Okay, so user got created. You're John. And that John belongs to which group? EC2 group. As he is belonging to EC2 group, he got attached. As he attached from the group, he get one more access from the group, that is Amazon EC2 full access. Got it? So like this, when employees join, so they add to groups, and then employees get policies from the groups, not directly. This is more easy way of handling the users and then attaching permissions. Let's say when John wants to shift his EC2 team, and let's say he's now in the S3 team. Now what he'll do, he'll generally happily change the groups. That's it. We'll add S3 group and remove the EC2 group, so that you can easily manage policy. Groups helps to easily manage the policies by adding the users to the group and then removing the users to the group. Okay, so all this can be easily happened by using the concept of groups. I hope it is very clear how to create a group and how to add users to the group. When users are added to the group, the users will derive the policies from the group. Okay, it's pretty simple. Desmond, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Sunil.
Good morning, Desmond. Yes, your question, please.
You actually answered my question. I'm sorry, I left my hand up.
Okay, no
I was
problem.
gonna ask about could you create what you just did right now about the groups. That's the question I had.
Okay, okay,
Respects
okay,
to
okay.
users.
Thank you. May I know your location?
I am in the US in Maryland.
Okay, okay. How is your learning experience?
So far it's great. It is wonderful.
Thank you. Okay.
Enjoying everything.
Are you doing hands-on?
I'm doing a lot of practical, yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You do a very good.
Thank you, this one. Okay, it's done. So we have learned. So you are familiar with these three terminologies. Okay, you now know users. Users are nothing but IAM users. Groups are nothing but collection of users which are having one set of permissions. You now experience the concept of groups. Policies are nothing but the permissions. Okay, so the next thing you should be comfortable about rules. Rules, we'll discuss that soon. Okay, so where exactly we are standing. Okay, fine. Okay, now let's delete the users whichever we have created, and you can delete the groups whichever you have created. I want to delete both the groups. You can also know one group is having how many number of users. Look at this EC2 group is having one user. You can also experience, you can also know the information. S3 group is having no users. Like this, you can get the information also. I'm deleting both the groups. Okay. Okay. I want to delete users. That's pretty simple. So this is how we can create users and provide a restricted access or shared access to the root account or IAM AWS account. Okay, that's all possible by using the concept of identity and access management. We have discussed about groups, we have discussed about rules, we have discussed about policies. What are the policies available? If you want to have a look at it, you can see there are a hell lot of policies available. You can read the documentation, understand how exactly each policies are helpful, and according to that you can provide the policies. Okay, next, you should be comfortable about, we should also know how can we connect to AWS account and how can we uh, create instances or how can we work with the services using the command line interface. As I have mentioned, this is very important. This is the AWS account. You can connect to AWS account into you can connect to your AWS account in two ways, as I mentioned just now, using the console access, using the command line interface. In two ways you can connect to your AWS account. Command line interface, the second approach. Console access is nothing but the browser access, like we are logging in using the browser by logging in, and the credentials what we are providing is the email address and the password using which you're logging into AWS account and you're selecting the services and you're dealing with services. This approach is called as a console access. Right from day one, you are connecting to AWS account, you are doing practicals of AWS using the console access. You can also connect to the AWS account using the command line interface. CLI, command line interface, yes, you are right. Whatever you can do from the console access, you can also do it from the command line interface. How can we connect to your AWS account using the command line interface? It's important, we should know it. You should experience what is the login username and a password which helps you to connect to AWS account using the command line interface. This interesting concepts we will not discuss now. The command line interface we'll discuss in our tomorrow session. In tomorrow session, I mean not tomorrow, we'll not have sessions Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow is Saturday and tomorrow is Saturday and day after tomorrow is Sunday. Next session will be on Monday. On Monday's class, we'll experience how can we connect to AWS account using a different approach, because in the interview they ask you, do you have any exposure towards the command line interface? What you should be in position to answer. Okay, you should be in a position, how can we connect to command line interface? What are the credentials which are required to connect to command line interface? How, whenever you want to perform, you can create buckets from the command line. So obviously you need to know how exactly we need to search for the right commands and run the command so that you can perform the activity, whatever you want to do. Experiencing the command line interface is about next session, so which is very, very important. Stay tuned for the next session. So before ending today's session, let's have a questionnaire. Mahesh Mupala.
Yes, Sunil, good morning.
Good morning, Mahesh. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well, thank you, Mahesh. Yes, tell me.
Yes. Coming to the topic, we are creating multiple users, right?
Yes.
Multiple users can update every time attach policies and
You can change the
they-
policies anytime,
yes,
anytime you can add the policies, you can remove the policies to the users. Okay.
yes. At this time, user create one particular services. Moving forward, that user can access multiple services. Then that time we can attach, right?
Attach. Let's say right now we have created first user Ravi. Ravi is now
Yes.
currently using EC2 access. Let's say in future he will want to give him additional responsibilities of managing buckets. So what we'll do, we'll add one more policy. Okay.
Yes, yes,
You can edit policies and you can add policies. You can remove policies anytime. Okay.
yes, yes,
Mahesh.
yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Mahesh, one more point.
Yes, Sonu.
We have created one Ravi.
Yes.
What is the password we have provided to this particular Ravi? Ravi at the rate 1 2
1
3.
2
What
yes.
policy we have attached to this user?
EC2
EC2
full access.
This is the policy which you have attached to the Ravi. That means Ravi can connect to AWS account and can work with EC2 services.
EC2 services.
Can we add second service S3 also? Can one user have two policies? Yes.
Yes, it's
One user
possible.
can have two policies. When you're searching the policies, search for second policy and attach second policy. You can add the policies, no problem at all. Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's say root user is very busy. Okay. Now, root user wants to give the permission to Ravi user. The Ravi should create a IAM users.
Okay.
Ravi should able to create IAM users. If you want Ravi to provide IAM users, there's a policy called administrator access.
Is possible to admin access?
There is a policy called administrator access.
Okay. Administrator full access.
Administrator access is a policy. When you attach this policy to the Ravi user, Ravi can create IAM users. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. For example, see, one client will have only one root user. Okay. Okay, it's very difficult one root user to manage all the IAM user creations and all those. Okay, so when you provide administrator access to a particular user, he can act as an administrator.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so Ravi becomes an administrator now. So Ravi can create IAM users, Ravi can create groups, Ravi can delete the users, Ravi can delete the groups, whatever the root user can do, even Ravi can do, because Ravi has assigned what policy administrator access. This is a special policy. When you provide this policy to the user, this user will work as an administrator. Okay, Mahesh?
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Nice. Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, who's this?
Yeah, this is Ravichandra.
Ravi Chandra, yes.
Actually, here one doubt came. And the same way, Kiran also, we have the same administrator access.
We
in
can
the
add,
same
we
way?
can assign, we can have multiple administrators.
Okay.
Okay, whoever is having administrator access, they act as an administrator.
Okay.
Okay.
That means the root user access will be given to Ravi in the scenario.
That's the meaning. Okay.
Yes.
Ravi is
Yeah.
promoted as a root user or something like that. Okay.
But you told for the one group, that means one organization have only one.
That is root user. Ravi is not a root user. Ravi is still an IAM user. Okay.
IAM user, but it will be acting as.
But
a
he
root
can
user.
create new users because he is having administrator access. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But still, Ravi belongs to root user, IAM user only.
IAM user only.
Yeah. Okay. Janardana.
Hi, sir. This is
Good morning.
Jonathan. Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. What about you?
Doing well. How is your learning experience?
Yeah, it's good. Good, sir.
Fine. Tell me.
I have a doubt from yesterday class, sir. So we are creating this translation acceleration, right, for transferring the file. So we are using this edge centers, right? So
Edge
while
locations. We are using edge locations.
edge locations, while uploading the data from to edge location, and it will send the data to our
Bucket.
bucket, right? So that whatever the data is there in edge location, is it a temporary data after
Temporary. Once
moving?
the data is uploaded into the actual bucket, the edge location will be cleared.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only temporary purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Sagar.
Sagar.
Hi,
Yeah.
Sagar.
Yeah, hi. Sunil, can we create the customized policy under this? Because there are Amazon manage, AWS
Yes.
manage, and
We can
customized
create
manage.
our own customized policies also. That is possible by administrators. Okay. So this is possibility. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed this session. The next session of this IAM is on Monday session. The plan for Monday session is to experience how can we connect to AWS account using the command line interface, which is very, very important. Okay. Until then, have a nice weekend. Spend some time working on AWS. Thank you. Bye, everybody, and see you on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.